Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Matt, and I'm back with Kerbal Space Program Hard Career Mode. Last episode we failed to get Tria Kerman to the moon. Something I want to rectify this episode. To do that I did some science flights off camera and collected 90 science. I also got Tria back from her Kerbin orbit with the science she was carrying, but I still needed some flights. I got my science from the desert on the next continent to the west, that ways. And from the mountains in that desert. That is to say, where were we? Kerbin Mountains. I got a material study, I got a temperature scan, I got an EVA report, and I also planted a flag in those mountains, but we're not going to go there now or anytime soon, I think, because it's another Easter egg where I did that, and for those who want to find them themselves, I'm not going to spoil them. Or at least not all of them. I mean, I already spoiled one, but you had a chance to skip ahead in that episode. Now we unlocked the heavy rocketry. The next logical step for rocketry technology is to just go bigger. And we're going to unlock the skipper engine, which is bigger than the ones we currently have, and it has the same diameter as the Rockomax fuel tanks. We are also going to purchase the half-size fuel tank. The big one is developed after one J. Kerman complained that the fuel tanks available were way too small. The X232 holds a generous amount of fuel for all your fueling needs, or something like that. Shut up, Rockomax hires rocket scientists, not writers. And the X216 fuel tank is pretty much half of a 32. And you see, after many studies, Rockomax engineers found that the space program does indeed have a use for a tank half the size of the X232. No refunds. There's a reason I researched that. I actually tried to record that episode before. I actually recorded it, but yeah, I'm gonna tell you what happened at the end of this episode, providing it doesn't happen again. No, actually, yeah, I'll tell you. Okay, and with that new engine we can go to the VAB. Grab the Debbie 1 lander, and I'm gonna go over it once again and add a new Savage Garden under it, and then I'll bring you back in. So, see you in a few. Alright, the Savage Garden is done. Now we got a big main stage with a skipper engine, 6 boosters that get dropped one by one, asparagus style, engine or one stage that is, I'm not sure, it's either for finishing the Kerbin orbit or for getting us to the moon. Maybe both, maybe only part of getting us to the moon. Then we got the lander with its descent stage and ascent stage and getting back home stage. I also put an antenna on the lander just in case, so we can transmit crew reports home, stuff like that. And I'm using the launch clamps. Alright, so the crew is going to be Tria Kerman. I'm going to get her to the moon, one way or the other. This reminds me, okay, that's... I wasn't sure if the fuel lines are the correct way around. But the arrows are pointing towards the center, so that works. Or it should. Let's see if it actually does. Throttle up, because even with the skipper engine we are still a bit low on thrust. I don't like that too much. Ah, those didn't get duplicated. Okay. We got a bit of wobble. Let's see how things go. We should be mostly fine. I hope. So, with hoping that things are mostly fine. No, that's not what I wanted. Okay. We launch! This is actually going well enough. Just tilt over a bit. Going very well. Stable as anything. Time to drop the first stage. So, okay, it doesn't hit the launch pad. Maybe the runway, but not the launch pad. Which is good. We still need that thing. Actually, we also need the runway, so yeah. Let's just keep us pointed at the appropriate marker. No, just go for stability assist. Okay. Jettisoning the next stage. I know, I was wondering if something collided, but everything's fine. Everything's fine. And yeah, you can see from the oscillating of the engine, the skipper engine also has gimbaling. Thrust vectoring. Actually what's doing the most of the work for the tilting over, maneuvering and stuff. Because I've noticed in the last attempt that this whole stack is a bit too heavy for the reaction wheels in the command module to take care of everything. Okay. We're at orbital velocity. Actually, I might be able to turn off SAS, see how this thing goes. Yeah, it's looking good. Tilting over by itself. Pretty much flying itself too. Maybe not exactly. Need to adjust a bit. Thing is, I actually wanted to keep moving towards the horizon a bit. just a bit though, so... Because the idea is to be at the horizon marker when we get to space, so it's easier to actually get an orbit. Okay, space, so we throttle up again. We're still not at our apoapsis, so it's still rising. But we are close enough that orbit things should be happening. I don't think we're gonna do it on this stage. We're gonna need the next one as well. But that's alright, that's what we brought it for. Or one of the reasons we brought it. I just have to keep my eye on the acceleration, so I don't miss the point when we actually run out of fuel, which would be now. And off you go. At least we won't litter space with this part. One less thing to cause a Kessler cascade. Ooh, that's not looking all that well. Yeah, we got an ascending node of 1.5. Yeah, and I still got the temperature scan and a crew report in space, or actually above how many? Above 16,800 meters for the orbital genius with Bell on board. Ech. And I also made I think I made an alarm for that. I didn't? Oh, that's not good. Let's make one... No, not raw time alarm. Not the active vessel, it's the orbital genius. And we can check in 2.5 hours about. We can check if we can get a reading temperature or crew report. But first off, we are going to need a maneuver here, which was a bit too much. Okay, like this. To get in the same orbit as the moon. Or not in the same orbit, actually just adjusting the inclination of our orbit to the same as the moon. We got a lot of electric charge left, which is good. I was wondering in the last attempt why we were at full electric charge out at the moon, but that was probably because we still got an engine that generates electric charge. So that might explain it. Should be fine. because it's not a long burn we need. Not a lot of delta V. I'll burn a bit later. Okay, that should do it. Yeah, it's close enough. Oops, that was a bit too much, I think. Oh, I think might be a bit... Whoa. Can still do this 1.1, okay, like this. $827. 1,000 kilometers, yeah, that should be enough. Yeah, and the previous attempt I fiddled around with the maneuver nodes so much that I almost missed my burn. Not gonna happen today. I'm just gonna start the burn late anyways. I'm smart, SMRT, smart. Anyway. yeah, I still need 600 meters per second delta V, which is a physics term for change in velocity. Delta for change, V as in the sign for velocity. How do we look fuel-wise? Not very good. So we're gonna end up dropping the candle now, which means we do litter a bit. Something I don't like to do, but whatever. Wait, why? Crap. Those engines were actually supposed to fire on at the same time. Let's hope that not happening didn't mess up our plans too much. Actually no, it won't, because it's not changing anything in the fuel flow. It just means we did a bit more of a burn than we planned, or burned a bit longer than we planned. Oops. Okay, that works. I can live with that. So we are a day out from our moon periapsis. And if we didn't do anything, that would be the way we move. So we'd be getting a slight boost from the moon. Gravity assist. So the encounter is 4 hours away. So I'm thinking, okay, that's already the encounter. Display a message at an alarm. I'm thinking I will just time warp out. I'm going to do this as one episode, at least until the moon landing. I think coming home will be Wednesday's episode. But while we warp, or while I wait for everything to happen. I'll just cut away and cut back in when we are near the... wait. When we are near the change in SOI. Oops, not 55 minutes. Because in the meantime I will just work with the Gagarin 2 and with the Orbital Genius and see if maybe I can get the contracts fulfilled. So, second cutaway this episode. See you in a bit again. Okay, we are back with the Savage Garden. We are close to our change in SOI, Sphere of Influence. I did manage to get the Gagarin 2 into the same orbit as Terry's capsule. I'm not sure if I can get it out of that orbit again into a Kerbin orbit, but I'll try that when it happens, and that's not going to be before one in-game day, because I set it up so they will, or the Gagarin 2 is slowly drifting towards Terra's capsule at I think 1.2 meters per second relative, and they will encounter each other about here. Then I get Terry to the Gagarin 2 and then I'll try to get them both home. I hope that works. Now, however, we are approaching the moon, still 3 minutes out. And yeah, the sun is actually very close to the moon from our point of view. Kerbin's looking smaller than the moon, which is nice. What happens if I already did that, did I? Yeah. Time to reset it. Because I want to do those experiments near the moon. So let's see where we end up. I set another alarm for the orbital genius in half an hour, but unless anything interesting, or unless it looks like it really might hit the point. There we are. No target. Okay, it unsets the moon as our target. Unless it looks like it might hit the science places, I'm not going to switch to it. And this is 1 hour out. But I can just add a maneuver. Because we need a moon orbit. I don't want to hit the surface of the moon, but I think, let me see, 9 kilometers might be a bit close. I think the highest mountain is 7 or so. Let's say I also want some wiggle room for the landing, so let's say about 30 kilometers, yeah, that works. That should do it. And that leaves us at 279 meters per second delta V. Yeah, we should definitely have that in the tank. I mean, this was 600, I think. 600 meters per second. So 200 shouldn't get us that much further down. But hey, let's just not switch to the Gagarin 2 debris. That's a problem with a high debris count or high craft count in Kerbin orbit. Wherever you click, it wants to select some debris. It's not yet high enough for a Kessler cascade, I hope. Ah no, it works. But it's getting close. Ah, okay, that's the debris at the launch pad. The 6, what are they called? Launch clamps. Stability enhancers. Let's see. The orbital genius is on this side of Kerbin right now. And the alarm goes off. How long will it take? 23 minutes. Odds are it won't make it. Yeah, it's going to be on the wrong side of Kerbin. Yeah. It's totally on the wrong side of Kerbin. Or mostly. Or is it? We're still an hour out? Wasn't it an hour before I time warped this half hour? Whatever. I'm just going to add the maneuver node alarm. 5. Let's make it... No, let's make it 5 minutes. 5 minutes is good. Yeah. The orbital genius just came over the pole when Antask left passed under its orbital track. So, unset the target and focus on the Savage Garden again. I'm just gonna time warp a lot. I like how it slowly drops you out of time warp. So let's see, okay, are nearing the maneuver node. Maybe we should get pointed in the direction we need to burn. Just, you know, an idea. I think at worst this is going to take a minute at full burn. So let's just go down to actually 1 minute. Fire up the engines. 16 seconds at full burn. Oh. Might as well. Okay, 14 seconds. Okay, burned a bit late, but that's alright. A lander with 4 engines might almost be called overpowered. Or at least this lander. Yeah, we could have burned so that we actually hit this crater, but then I'd have to slow down too much too fast. I'm just gonna add another maneuver here to get us down to an orbit of about 30 by 30 kilometers. 33 by 30. Yeah, that's a good orbit. That's good enough. So we just need to turn around again. This is where things get interesting, because if the orbital genius approaches the... No, it's going to be after our burn. That's alright. That's alright. So I'm just gonna add another node alarm, so we don't miss it. Another 146 meters per second delta V. Yeah, we are at about half fuel in these ones. Oh, we are under half fuel in those. But we should be fine. We should be fine, I think. Let's see, I wanted to turn it around. No, not this way. The other way. This way. Oh, there we go, there we go. Then we can switch to trias view. And this way. That's how it goes. There we go. The pale blue dot. Well, not exactly just a dot, but it's still bigger than my mouse pointer. Do I have a... Yeah, it's about maybe the size of a Kerbal fist. So something I wanted to check. Okay, it is moving that way. Or I guess technically we are moving that way. There we go. So we don't see a moonrise or moonset, we see a Kerbinset. And that was in real time. Okay, that was exactly what I wanted. Oh, and we are 6 minutes out from our maneuver. Now ain't that timing. Okay. Yeah, that's okay. It's 15 at full, so maybe 10. What do you mean under acceleration? Overpowered. Almost. Okay, now we are in a 31 by 30 kilometer orbit. That's great. Thing is, on the next orbit this crater is going to be in the dark, I think. Wait, can we do an EVA? Moon's Midlands, okay, no. Last attempt I got her out early enough to do an EVA report over this canyon. So you might have guessed what went wrong, or part of what went wrong in the last attempt. In space near the moon, we didn't get that before, so we keep that. I'm not going to do the science or materials bay yet. I'm going to do that in the crater. Yeah, as I said, on the next orbit this one's bound to be in the dark. 45 minutes, yeah. So we're going to try landing here in a bit under half an hour. Focusing on Kerbin. Where is my orbital genius? There she is. Which means we can actually try to find the moon again. There's Minmus. What? Ah! No, that's a Gagarin too. Oh, there we are. Oh man, I just... Okay, that works. So we need to go that ways a bit more maybe. And we need to slow down. Actually, we're going to aim for the crater rim. Yeah, okay. And that should take us where we need to be. Add an alarm for that one. 15 minutes. And there's the genius. Let's see. I'll try it. If things go, or if I actually miss the maneuver, I can just do it on the next orbit, because I'm actually not yet sure if it will work this time. But if I could actually get this temperature reading, that would be awesome. Not yet sure I can, but I've been trying for so many orbits. Nah, I guess it won't happen. There we are. Let's see. Oops. Ah, that's alright. Are we close enough? Will we get sufficiently close? We don't. Yes! Got it! Yes! Time to keep that data. There we are, contract complete. It looks like Kerbin is a touch warmer than we expected, but this is what we needed. Yes! 35,000 funds, 3 reputation. You get a survey data from Untask left. 2 science, 5,000 funds. Yes! Note in 4 minutes. Ah. Oops. We got SAS switched off. Why that happened, I'm not sure. That's okay. Okay, there we are. Nah, it will be in the sun. That's good. At least I hope it will be. But right now we're still in the shadow. I like the green dots from the batteries. Also, when we're back in the sun, I need to close in on that one again. 132. That's again maybe 10 seconds, give or take. especially if I'm not going at full burn. Okay, there we are. Yeah, because if you look at the batteries, I got a bit low resolution thingies. What are they called? Textures. But you can make it out. They are Batman batteries. Bit of a shout out, I guess. Okay, time to turn this craft like this. Time to do another EVA report. Again, Midlands. Weird. Oh, and Tria is sliding up the capsule. Not sure if this is because right now the capsule doesn't have SAS and is slowly tumbling and she gets pushed out of the way. But I thought she should be holding onto the ladder, which means no sliding. But she actually is. Which is unfortunate. Okay, we are in the sun. The crater partly is. Not yet sure if I like that or not. Again, Midlands. Not sure if I like that either. Wondering... Oh, I wanted to record the temperature. Keep sending poor Tria out of the capsule. Space near the moon. Keep that data. Oh, I also like what the material base says. The high radiation environment caused a few of the samples to glow. It looks like it would be fun to paint a rocket with this. That aside, why is the Gagarin 2? Okay, I'll just reset that experiment. Where are we? We are there. That works. EVA. Do a report. Doesn't work. Okay. Let go. Turn on your thingies. Take the data. Okay. 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 Easy. Easy. I got time. I don't have much time, but I do have some. Thing is, I want to collect all data I can. Yes, that's okay. Even before getting to the moon. Okay. Should have turned on those earlier so I see what I'm doing. Okay. There we are. Time to turn this on. Zoom out a bit. Okay. Still waiting for that crater. EVA report above the crater. That means we can board again. The thing is, I don't exactly want to hit that small crater, but I want to kill my horizontal velocity and maybe get a bit of a start on my vertical one as well. Vertical velocity. Unless I kill all my horizontal velocity and head right for that crater. In the last attempt I actually just hit the outer rim of that crater and I ended up in a bit of a bind regarding bit of southwards movement as well. This is what they call seat of the pants flying, I guess. How does this look? I actually need to get a bit more southerly. Okay, no. This won't do. This just won't do. I'll have to start to slow down. Yeah, there's two ways you can slow down before a landing, especially on the moon. One is what I'm doing right now, gradually slowing down, and oh, I need to drop the empty stages. Were they empty? I think they were. Yeah, one is gradually slowing down the way I'm doing now. Which means you are coming in slowly. The other is actually going down at pretty much full velocity until shortly before you hit the ground, and then do a suicide burn, which is to say do a full braking burn and to get you to landing speed as late as possible. What are they called? The advantages of either are with the braking or with coming down under power is you can make sure on the whole descent that you don't hit too hard. The advantage of a suicide burn is that that you need less fuel. It's more economical. Of course, if you misjudge the time until you have to do your burn, you might end up litho braking, which is to say you slow down using the lithosphere of the target body, which is to say the ground. This is going to be tricky because we are coming down on quite a slope. And the whole craft is a bit long. Might be too top heavy for this slope. Okay. So let's try again a bit further into the crater. Okay, that works. That works. We need to go a bit in this direction. Okay. We're starting to come down again. Okay, steady. I think as in the last attempt I kept my SAS switch to, or I had the SAS switch to keep the rocket pointed retrograde, which was a good idea at this stage, but as soon as I hit the ground, the rocket tried to do a 180, and eventually it succeeded. So that was the end of poor Tria. However, I would have rolled with that. I actually would have rolled with that. But there was a little problem when I... Shit. Okay, keep it pointed away, keep it pointed. Keep pointing up. Okay. We are still generally moving in the right direction. Not, you know, the whole sideways thing, but actually that's not too bad either. Now I might end up having to send a rescue mission for Tria, but as long as she doesn't die, I can live with that. And so can she, I guess. Trouble with that whole dying thing. Okay, that's good enough for me. It's going to make taking off interesting, but good enough for now. So, well, at least it makes getting back into the capsule easy, because, you know, how do we look on electric charge? Pretty good, okay. Contract complete. Touchdown confirmed on the moon. Any crash you can walk away from counts as a landing. Ooh, 130,000 funds, 11 science, 21 reputation. Yes! Observe the materials bay. The fine dust of the moon has intermixed with some of the samples. You have a sneaking suspicion that they'll never be able to get the lab clean again. Whoops. Observe the mystery goo. The goo seems to be less dense here. Keep that as well. Crew report. Moon's east crater. You record the crew's assessment of this situation. I'm not sure if I can try to transmit it, but the problem is that I'm lying down on my antenna. Oh, let's try it. It works! It seems to work. It pushes the capsule up, but it works. Maybe I should open the antenna to give the capsule a bit of extra lift when it comes time to take off. Next episode. And I also got the temperature scan from the moon's east crater. Keep data. Now Tria is happy. Okay. Let go. Boof. Just fall down. Everything's cool. Okay. Tria can also push the capsule around. Look at her go. she's fully happy. Wow. Okay, dust is getting everywhere. Well, at least you can bring some samples back with you. Actually, I would need to upgrade the... what's it called? The astronaut complex? Yeah, I think the astronaut complex for getting moon or for getting samples back. But I'm going to plant a flag here. The site name is Trias Point. This one's for you, Debbie. Okay, we got a report. You can also switch to... How did it work? Whee! Switch to the jetpack. Jetpack shenanigans. R was the jetpack. Look how happy Tria is. And the sun's rising over the crater. So we got another contract. Our trackers confirmed the flag has been planted at the moon. 89,000 funds more. Science data from surface of the moon. We just received experimental data from the surface of the moon. Excellent! Excellent! 43,000 funds. Free science. Alright. Okay. And I think I'll leave the episode at that. On that high note. We will recover some of the debris over here. Okay. Now we got almost 400,000 funds, 33 science, and that's not counting the stuff that Tria has on the moon with her. Nice! Nice. Alright. I wanted to check the tracking station. Okay. I got a possibility to do more temperature readings. A lot more temperature readings. Holy crap. What is going on? We did a couple of contracts. We finished 3 or 4 contracts just now. And that means, of course, with our increased reputation, that we get a couple more contracts to do. Okay, we did this, so the next one is 2 hours out-ish, I think. Pretty much like the Gagarin 2, that's also 2 hours out. But I'll do that off camera. I'll leave Tria on the moon. Moon. Tria Kerman landed. Savage Garden landed. There she is. Down here. Yeah, you can just barely see that it's an EVA. If we turn off the ship, got Tria. And of course the flag. Trias Point. Set on year 1, day 65. 3 hours, 55 minutes. After a bit of bouncing. It was a touch and go landing. Couple touches, a bit of go. Yeah. Okay, sorry, that was the spoiler. I turned off the flags. Yeah, the desert over here is where I did my science readings. Anyway, episode should hit the 1 hour mark already. Yeah, we got. Next thing is flyby of Minmus. Temperature scans of Kerbin. Surface above. That is a lot of stuff to do for Val, or for actually for someone else maybe. Maybe I'll just get Val back after she does the next stuff. Above, below, above, okay. Also surface, twin bore liquid fuel engine, science data from space. Oh, we can do this. Peggy Kerman, temperature scans of Kerbin. Below, above, below. 2 tourists. Orbit around Kerbin, orbit around Kerbin. We could also do that. It's not, yeah, not exactly a noteworthy endeavor, but should be a relatively safe thing to attempt. It's just for the funds. And for funsies. We'll see. I'll see what I do off camera. Maybe get some more funds. And on Wednesday I'll be back with getting Tria back from the moon, I think. So until then, thank you and good night. Oh wait, not exactly. Not yet, don't go to sleep yet. Or maybe go to sleep now, because as I said, I tried the episode before and I crashed Tria into the moon. Actually, I did it on the in this area on the outer rim of this crater, because I touched down, or I had the SAS on, switched to keep the rocket pointed retrograde, and as soon as I hit the ground, retrograde was on the ground because I also bounced off. So Tria, or the SAS, tried to turn around the rocket, which I tried to avoid, and with me working against the SAS, the rocket went into a flat spin. It didn't crash right away, but before I realized why the flat spin happened, I just noticed it tried to turn around and I couldn't get it pointed up. When I realized it was from pointing retrograde, I tried to click on the marker for just stability assist. Problem with that is I don't know the keyboard shortcut. I might have to look it up, and I wasn't fast enough, so as I said, the rocket crashed into the moon, Tria died, but I was willing to roll with it, to take this loss caused by stability. However, when I did the video, when I tried to combine the video files that Fraps had recorded, I was almost through the whole video before I realized one file was missing. That was the crash. I hit F9 to start the recording again, or actually I hit F9 to stop the recording in the screen, in the Space Center screen, and Fraps started recording again at that point. I don't know why it stopped, but it stopped during the ascent, sometime before the actual attempt at landing, a bit before the crash. But yeah, the file was the one with the crash, and I am actually a bit... wondering a bit, because if you remember the last bonus episode, Tria would have died in that one as well. Only when she hit the water, Kerbin disappeared, the whole planet. Now the second time she was, she actually died. The thread ceased working, so I have no idea if she made a pact with the Kraken or to make sure she can land on the moon. I hope she didn't. But nevertheless, I'll try to avoid killing her from now on. So, for real this time. Thank you, and good night.